Thank you to the Pokemon Company International for the free access pass to Worlds.
The ALOLA region holds a very special place in my heart, because it was made with so much heart. For the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, they went all out in creating an island adventure. I love how compact yet condensed the islands are, really giving you that sense of being a kid on an adventure, looking around at this place that's a lot smaller than you actually think it is. I love the story and the characters too, and how it feels like they actually live there. I love the Z moves, and most importantly, you can just tell they were having fun making it. ALOLA is the region that I want to visit most, which is pretty impressive considering that it's also the region most prone to attacks from extra-dimensional beings which are capable of swallowing entire cities.
And island spirits that destroy grocery stores.
And in all my years of loving the ALOLA region, my biggest regret was not making a full movie detailing my entire experience playing through Ultra Sun. I feel like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are not appreciated for the masterpieces that they are, and it's all just a matter of bad timing.
They were released too soon after the originals. With just 1 year, we didn't have enough time with the originals to appreciate a definitive version enough. It was also just bad timing for me creatively because I didn't gather enough footage to make a movie the first time around.
I've been waiting all these years for the right time to finally talk about this game. And in 2024, the stars literally aligned with the perfect timing. My name is Matt, but you can call me Absol, and it's finally time to play Ultra Moon.
Our story begins with the shutdown of 3DS online services, happening on April 8th, 2024, which also randomly happened to be the day of a major solar eclipse, which is crazy because at the beginning of Ultra Moon, the sky darkens and is mistaken for a solar eclipse. In a race against time before it was gone forever, I tried to get all 807 Pokemon available in Ultra Moon on a brand new file using only Wonder Trade and the help of my stream. And on the very last day, we just barely pulled it off. So many amazing stories and inside jokes spawned from this, and it led to a final team of 6 being picked to play through the rest of the game. Like this Chinchino that spawned the creation of a villain named the Oiler, Hatsune Milku, this shiny Bronzong caught by someone named Absol Poops, this Spinda that really loves men, the largest unofficial Pokemon distribution of all time, I'm dead serious, and the Meowth from Pokemon Channel that's reporting about it all on Descene. But we've got our work cut out for us. These blue people from another dimension are here talking about the Blinding One, and I haven't even gone to school yet, even though I completed the whole dex. And little did I know when I started this, that my dream of visiting the ALOLA region, or its real-life equivalent, would actually come true. The Pokemon World Championships in 2024 just so happened to be in Honolulu, Hawaii, which is obviously the real-life inspiration for the ALOLA region. And I was lucky enough to have the honor of being invited to Worlds as a creator from Pokemon, being given a free pass to attend the event. This was my first time ever going to a Pokemon Worlds, which had been on my bucket list for so long, and I was excited to carry the will of hundreds of people on my back with this traded team and play through the ALOLA region in the real-life ALOLA region. So let's get ready to set out, and let's go. Wait, that's the wrong game. That's a Switch game. We're doing Ultra Moon. I'm packing for the ALOLA region right now. And in the ALOLA region, there's a pretty important accessory that you need. The Z-Ring. Look at the level of swag that I'm about to achieve with this thing on. It also syncs up with the 3DS. We have this little Pikachu who's really upset about being encased in plastic for the past 8 years. It still fits my 29-year-old wrist. Let's go. This is a massive win for the 29-year-olds out there. Watch this. Look at the fire symbol. Oh, that is so cool. Unfortunately, this Z-Ring only works with the original Sun and Moon games and not the Ultra ones. But it's still going to be an awesome accessory in the ALOLA region. The next morning, I got through airport security with it and got ready to take off and begin my adventure.
Are you as ready as us? I don't think you are. I don't think you are.
After over 54 hours, it was finally time to set off and go on our adventure. I gathered the team together, most of them at level 1 except for Chinchino and Bronzong, who would disobey us. Bronzong was kinda useless anyway. What is this moveset? What were you cooking, Absol Poops? And I also gathered an audience in the box of other important Pokemon to watch this journey. We started out at the trainer school, where our path was blocked by a Tauros, which kind of scared me. Was I going to run into real bulls blocking the roads in Hawaii? I wasn't sure, but I went to school. And I schooled everyone, because I knew everything already. I had every Pokemon in existence. This is baby stuff. The battle backgrounds were surprisingly detailed and really cool here, though. I also remembered the existence of Pokemon Refresh, which let me heal up my Pokemon after battle by petting them. And then I remembered more and more details, like the old man at the Pokemon Center who runs the cafe, who makes all these nice little tropical juices and gives you beans and does this hand gesture the entire time. And how, like, the little roadblocks all are explained in interesting ways, and you even get to pet the roadblock Tauros in whichever way that you choose to. And then you can also become like an Instagram influencer who gets roasted in the comments by grandparents.
My grandkids are cuter than that.
I made so little actual story progress on this first flight, but I played so much. I did so much exploring. And then I remembered that this game really is just an island vacation at the end of the day. You can speed through it if you want, but there are so many awesome little detours to take. And that's what I love about it. No other Pokemon game lets you explore every gym leader's house, fully furnished with their family, and gives you vivid details about their bed. Why do we get vivid details about the trial captain's beds? That's actually kind of weird.
That's freaky.
Anyway, after grasping at straws looking for clues about Legend ZA, and watching a bit of a movie about if the Ultra Recon Squad people had green skin and lived in a swamp instead, I got on my long 8-hour connecting flight to the real Hau'oli City. Welcome to another episode of Strangers I'm Sitting Next to on my flight. Yeah, Kotatsu and Unova is here now.
And Miho. Water. Like you drink it.
We took to the skies, ready to play the ALOLA games.
Necrozma took over my game.
And speaking of Necrozma, I made my way to Verdant Cavern to start my first trial on the Island Challenge. I love the way that the light filters through here. And the Ultra Recon Squad stays nearby because something at these trial sites has to do with Necrozma, the blinding one. And it's the Z crystals that grant us the power to do Z moves, which are protected by the totem Pokemon, like Totem ALOLA and Raticate, our first major boss fight, who was no match for I Love Men the Spinda and Ondasine the Meowth.
He's on the scene. I'm on the plane.
I was gonna film the monumental occasion of me receiving my first Z crystal, but I was interrupted with this picture of Drampa that looked like a ramen noodle, and I completely missed the cutscene entirely. But now we can do Z moves.
Check this out. This is obnoxious.
Oh yeah? The full-on pose. Oh my gosh.
That's like a death move right
You're
there.
hitting it.
These blue people are gonna follow us for a while.
They do the ALOLA thing, but like square, because they're squares.
They're literal nerds.
You know, it's that lady from the meme.
The Ultra games also added this little interaction mini-game you have with a bunch of Pokemon on the overworld, and it's basically the best thing ever.
It has a heart. Staring at me lovingly. I can pet it. I can pet the dog.
Oh my god, best game ever.
I think I just beat the game. Like, I don't have to play anymore.
You won. The quest is over.
The summer of 2024 was when everyone was obsessed with posting pictures of Hala, and I was so excited to see him.
Amazing phone background. Me and Bae.
Somehow finishing everything on the first island in the story up in the air, it was time to fight the fighting type expert man of the hour for my first grand trial. These trials are part of the Island Challenge, which is a rite of passage for any kid who is deemed worthy of holding a Z-Ring, or Z-Power Ring in the Ultra games, which involves going to the 4 islands of ALOLA, doing all sorts of crazy trials and collecting Z crystals along the way, and fighting the 4 kahunas who were specially selected to represent the island deity Pokemon by the island deity Pokemon themselves. It's a lot more deeply rooted in tradition than any of the gym challenges in other games, and I think it's a really refreshing take on it all. It also has a bit more of a backstory involving Necrozma that the original Sun and Moon don't even really touch on, even though it's all there. It's a secret that gets revealed in this game, what the true meaning of the Island Challenge is, and I think that that's really neat. But for now, my normal types managed to survive Hala.
He froze. Is he okay?
He's still smoldering a little bit.
He is.
And I was ready to move on to the next island. I still feel like there's so much more I could say about Melee Melee Island and how much better the variety of encounters are there in the Ultra games, but it's time to move on to ALOLA Island before I even land on the real-life Melee Melee Island. In the original game, you and Hao just take a boring boat ride there, but in the Ultra games, we get to do Mantine surfing. Upon reaching shore in ALOLA Island, we're immediately greeted by some familiar faces. Dexio and Cena from X and Y, and Colress from Black 2 and White 2, who laughs in a really silly way.
The literal animation team just rotated his torso. That's it. Yeah, just rotated it on the X-axis.
Following in Colress's inventive footsteps, on the plane we invented a Love Disc CD player with 2 butts, and I don't remember why. I took some pictures of Hatsune Miku with Hatsune Miku. We met Gladion.
He's happy to be an Ion.
Took another rare Cantonian Meowth off the scene. Got the ability to ride a dog. Passed my next grand trial, or at least what I think would be a grand trial in my head, petting the Corsola. And then I kind of put Ultra Moon on the back burner while I focused more on SOS hunting while watching the Sun and Moon anime. And let's just say that paid off.
We are on the plane right now. We are about 48 minutes away. We're literally watching the fishing episode of the anime, and a blue Corsola appears. This is phase 4 for Marini. So let's knock out this pink one, and let's watch this blue one summon in another blue one right now, because that's going to happen again.
Imagine if that happened twice.
I would scream. I would scream on this plane, which would be really bad. Shiny in the air.
Play.
With an airplane shiny in tow, our giant metal Charizard called an airplane landed in Hawaii. And not long after, we saw a real Charizard. We met up with some cool people like Quick Panic out on the lawn and exchanged Pokewalker details. The decorations out on the Great Lawn were so awesome, but we had to get moving. Quaxley was having a bit of an existential crisis, so we needed to give it some space, and we had reservations at the Pokemon Center later that afternoon and needed to make our way there. It was business time. We had to wait in a hot parking garage for our Pokemon Center reservation, and they were having a technical malfunction, so we had to wait there longer. The only thing saving me was catching the exclusive Oricorio and Go.
Wait, no way! Wait, you got a shiny one? No way! Oh wait, is that an older one you have already? Dang it.
Dude!
It felt like we were in the real-life Wela Volcano Park here, getting so hot and sweaty, just waiting for our opportunity to move in line.
We've been here for like almost 2 hours in this parking garage.
We've been struggling!
But as we made our way inside, there were glimmers of hope and excitement as we saw the decorations that the venue had a day in advance.
It's so cool to be here. Oh, that's a giant squishmallow.
I'm gonna eat it.
There is a pigeon on Dragonite. There is a pigeon on Dragonite. P-Dove moment. New Pokemon friend.
I think that's a shiny. Like
I think
full
it
odds?
is. Yeah.
So
Tinkaton!
She's so sugoi.
Johnstone left us.
He abandoned us.
He couldn't survive. Rest in peace, Johnstone. You will be missed forever, man.
Yeah, I wish he existed.
Alright, Pokemon Center. Look at this, there's Remoraid on the wall. Lantern. Look at this under the sea background. This is so cool. I'm like using HM8 right now. There's Bruxish in real life.
After surviving Wela Volcano parking garage, we found an oasis where we were going to lose a lot of money. It was surreal seeing how much exclusive merchandise was around every corner.
I might get multiple shirts. I'm feeling like a freak right now.
I'm feeling so freaky right now.
I'm feeling like a freak.
This isn't the Pokemon Center anymore.
This is the Freaky Center.
Freaky Center.
Yeah.
It's the Freaky Center.
This is such a small fraction of the store we're in right now.
There's more.
There's so much more over here. There's like a tropical paradise of Pokemon Center here. This is the natural waterfall that I found in Hawaii.
Every detail was so cool, like having the rainbow Pokemon Ho-Oh in the Rainbow State, Hawaii. And we saw a Meowth on the scene trying to fish up a Snorlax for Team Rocket. And it was so distracting that we missed the entire wall of sitting cuties behind it. The Tapus also specially appointed a musician to play in the store like they would the Kahunas. Eventually it was time to see the damages and check out. but not without appreciating every little minute detail first.
Umbreon, accessibility, the umbrellas.
That's like you in the past.
Then I watched my crazy total tally up on this cash register, knowing that this was the only opportunity that most of this merch would ever be sold.
Alright, here's the Pokemon Center haul. I got the Snorkeling Pikachu plush. I got the stickers with all the different guys on them right here. I got a beach ball. I got an Oddish. I got this backpack, the Azumarill hat, the Azumarill pin, the Azumarill plush, the Pikachu and Munchlax enjoying the beach shirt. I got like the logo shirt right here. I got Pikachu snorkeling shirt and this Hawaiian shirt with the Honolulu World's logo on it. Palapalai, also called lace or hay-scented fern, is an indigenous Hawaiian fern used in making lei. I never knew it looked like this.
With a successful haul, we then went to the mall to enjoy some food in the very food court that inspired the Battle Buffet in Hau'oli City. Despite the highest concentration of Pokemon battlers that the mall has perhaps ever seen, thankfully the only battle that I had was with my own hunger.
And what's this?
We got some pork, lau, and we have some beef curry, and it goes in Sano mode, but if they want to sponsor us, I wouldn't be mad.
Bone apple tea.
Bone apple tea.
Yeah.
Then after a long day of traveling, we retreated back to the hotel and went to bed. I'm really tired. I can't believe it's the same day as it was earlier today. And I'm in Hawaii somehow. And that's gonna feel even more surreal to me tomorrow somehow, I think. Also got one island done in Ultra Moon, so we'll see what we can do in that tomorrow too. Let's go to ALOLA again.
You're already in ALOLA.
Oh, you're right. Like, let's not go on the 8-hour flight again. That would kind of suck.
I thought you were a professional.
ALOLA gamers, good morning. It is morning now, and I'm about to take on Lana's trial in a few here. And we're probably gonna hit the beach, and we're gonna go Howl mode on some malasadas before we go pick up our badges and stuff. It's gonna be pretty awesome. Akala Island has 3 trials for us to take on, led by Lana, Mallow, and Kiawe. You telling me a Kiawe smoked this half chicken? Lana's trial is the water type trial, and we get Surf, probably the earliest we've ever gotten it in a Pokemon game. In the original Sun and Moon, you fight against a Totem Wishy-Washy here. But the Ultra games pull off a funny plot twist by having the Wishy-Washy get scared away by a giant Araquanid instead. We walked along the beach to go get malasadas, finding some cool stuff along the way.
We got a beach exclusive Pokemon here. We got Wiglet. That is so cool. We're literally on the beach.
Trees. I wonder if the altar of the sun is up there.
I think it might be. It could be the altar of the moon though, depending on like what version we're playing right now.
And then I fought the Totem Araquanid at the beach.
Araquanid here is about to get oiled up. And boom, the Araquanid goes down.
That was fast.
At the beach. Team Skull just got us another one right here.
I fished up a lantern.
We're going on a little Alolan adventure to get to the Malasada shop. I'm How Maxing right now. We're going How mode.
How Max right now.
Yeah, we're going How mode. Like, we're related to Hala. Cause I ain't no Hala back girl.
We met up with Agent V and Johnstone at Penny's Malasadas. Yes, the leader of Team Star. And Johnstone had a major revelation.
Whoa!
Wait, is that Johnstone in line?
Jonathan Stone?
Can I be honest with you? I swear the malasadas were filled with beef.
Wait, what? You thought they were filled with beef?
I smell like he ate.
I
He was
smell
so
like
happy to eat them all the time that like there's no way that's his diet is sugar, just straight sugar.
He's a kid. What do you expect?
Let's enjoy these nice beefy malasadas.
Beef.
All right, which one am I gonna order?
What are the options?
Let's see. The sweet malasada.
Or nothing. You have to. Yeah, that's literally this right now.
I don't see the beef-filled one. Yeah.
I've seen
Dude,
sugar.
that's Shrek.
Like, oh my gosh. What if that one's shiny?
Oh, it's a shiny malasada.
Yeah.
I literally can't believe it, dude. 3 encounters.
That's so crazy. It's so fast.
And they were absolutely delicious, and I understand Hal's obsession with them now.
Amazing music choice, Matt.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just picky peck music, you know?
Then we had a bit of a free day to explore before the venue actually opened. Going around the Great Lawn, doing a bit of a stamp rally.
And since he's at the, we're at the beach, let's take him to swim.
Oh, let's do it.
And he's swimming.
That's awesome.
There was also a station for decorating some surfboards, meeting the Paldea starters, being a kahuna on a stroll to the Laguna and looking for actual schools of wishy-washy, and being told all about the blinding one by these blue people who wouldn't stop following us. Then we just kinda chilled out with some friends playing some Pokemon. Shiny Catherine found a Shiny the Squanch on the Cooking Mama Special Edition Switch.
Yeah.
That's a Whiscash!
It's a tiny little guy.
And I started the next trial, Kiawe's, which involves watching the dancing Alolan Marowak. And the Totem Alolan Marowak here is actually so tough that I needed some luck by punching Junior the Spiel for it. It almost took out my entire team, and it was down to the useless Bronzong caught by Absol Poops that only knew him Prison and Sunny Day. But I outfitted this Bronzong with a Rocky helmet, and that made all the difference. Maybe Absol Poops knew what they were doing after all.
Shout out to Absol Poops.
Then we hung out with a VGC player who actually qualified for Worlds, Scotch Tape, who showed us everything in the competitor package, and let me try my first spam musubi.
Oh, nod of approval, let's go!
Then I made quick work of Mallow's grass trial on the Totem Lurantis, before heading out to the beach at sunset for a very special occasion. It's not something you get to see every day.
Pokemon Moon.
It's up there.
Don't worry, it wasn't just the moon. I got a little emotional watching the drone show because I was sitting there looking up at all these fictional creatures I had loved since I was little and thought about how maybe they're more real than I ever gave them credit for. To have so many people excited for them at the world's most prestigious gathering of Pokemon fans, and somehow I was a part of it. The beauty of the whole experience is just seeing where fiction and reality can intersect. Because fiction is obviously inspired by and influenced by our realities. But our realities can be just as inspired by the fiction. They can go hand in hand. Because sometimes I wonder who I would be or what I'd even be doing without Pokemon. I don't know if I'd ever visit the real-life Alola region. Yeah, sure, Pokemon's not real. I didn't set out on an adventure when I turned 10, and it might have taken me half my life to find people who cared about it as much as me. But I held on to it, because I love it. And I think you should too about what you're passionate about. No matter how silly someone tells you that it is. Because you never know where it might take you. Or what might be realer than you think. Like Team Skull. Yo, we're out here in front of Giovanni Pastrami. That's the leader of Team Rocket. You know who's way better than Team Rocket though? Who? Guzma and all of Team Skull. We do these cool arm motions because we're Team Skull.
Facts. Boom.
Yeah.
Plumeria? I know her, she's from Team Skull.
We wound down for the night from the drone show by watching the drone show from the previous year in Yokohama.
Okay.
Fioku! And as I played through the Alolan Diglets tunnel, I couldn't help but wonder if there was a Wiglets tunnel hidden deep underwater in Paldea we don't know about. I finished up the night right before the second grand trial against Kahuna Olivia, saving that for the opening ceremony tomorrow. Cause, I've gotten emotional and stuff already and the whole event hasn't even started yet.
Look her, I hardly know her.
Oh! First thing in the morning, we got a crew together with Sir Toasty Toes and got some fluffy pancakes. I understand why Alolan Raichu loves them so much. Then we got to actually go inside the venue and make our way to our seats for the opening ceremony. All of the judges stood in a row and clapped and greeted everyone, and it was very cool and surreal. Welcome to World! Pikachu! That's Pikachu! We weren't too excited to be there. Energy levels were kind of low.
Everybody wants to make a statement. Everybody wants to call them mark. Sit around in the victory circle. Sit around when the music stops. Give it all you got. You can be the very best ever. You know, best shot. Come together. It's a whole new world we live in. It's a whole new way to see. It's a whole new place with a brand new attitude, but you still gotta catch them all and be the best that you can be. Pokemon Johto.
In direct view of the ALOLA Island spirit Tapu Lele, I battled Olivia waiting for the whole ceremony to start. And a little known fact about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is that Cosmog is actually voiced by Johnstone.
Thank you.
Olivia's a rock type expert, and she kinda rocked my team. Once again, it came down to my level 57 Bronzong and just the Rocky helmet, but we stuck it out and we won. Once again, shout out to Absol Poops. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon actually have quite a bit of difficulty in these battles. After ALOLA Island, our Alolan adventure takes us to the VLFS of Ether Paradise. A really interesting place where some of the people have text boxes at the top of the screen. This man-made island is dedicated to the conservation of Pokemon and whatever else the Ether Foundation does. And I recommend opening up Pokemon Refresh here because the background is really cool. It's here where we meet Lusamine.
Me on the way to meet Lusamine. She's actually talking about her Pokemon Go level.
We also have our first encounter with an Ultra Beast, a Pokemon from another dimension with this Nihilego, which is supposed to show up as 3 question marks when you battle it, but because I already caught it, it actually showed up with its name. I thought that was pretty cool. It wasn't even Safari Week, but I failed it.
Fled!
What the heck? She fled.
It got away!
Fled.
It stayed? Oh wait, it fled.
This is where we first see Lusamine's character arc deviate from where it was in the original Sun and Moon, where we see her deep obsession and mania with Nihilego in the original games in particular. She wants to save this pained creature who got trapped in another world. She wants to love it, keep it safe. But in this game, before she can even deliver that speech and break her facade, the Ultra Recon Squad appears, who she reveals she's been working with to research the Ultra Beasts and Ultra Wormholes. She still has the same obsessive personality as the original games, but this first contact with a creature from another world has kind of lost its impact in this game, because she's already been interacting with people from other worlds. It's not the fact that Lusamine herself has changed, it's that the story surrounding her has. Her main obsession is no longer centered around just the Ultra Beasts. It's with trying to protect and save Alola, and doing that by whatever means necessary. Which is a very one-sided thing, where she doesn't really consider what the people actually want or need. This one-sided motherly protection is a very common theme with her, and we'll discuss that more later. But we have an opening ceremony to watch here. And we need to move on to Ula Ula Island. That's fun to say. Ula Ula. Ula Ula.
Finally, Absol Poops gets a real move. Shout out to Absol Poops, the Bronzong.
Huge shout out.
I just got a new island Pokédex. Let's see what I have to fill in it. Oh, it's already complete. Oh!
I'm a Hariyama.
No way.
After the opening ceremony, we took some time to explore the venue, going to the TCG Illustration Contest Art Gallery, where thankfully none of the finalists were AI generated, and even more thankfully, Absol was one of the Pokemon that was chosen for it. I got to take in some amazing Absol art, and there was even an Oddish on one of them. Calzone would have loved this, I wish he was here.
This majestic piece right here is the perfect intersection of Matt and Calzone, me. I'm Calzone right now, and look at this. This Absol is warning the Oddish and saving them from disaster. Isn't that beautiful?
It wasn't just the finalists that we got to enjoy the art for, though. They had a station for designing your own Pokemon card.
This little guy, that's Shylock's. What's that? What's that? So what I did was I just hatched a couple of eggs. And then I hatched a couple more eggs. And then soon enough, 18,364. Shiny Sprigatito.
I chose Fioku to draw today, and since I like Kaiden so much, I wanted to draw Fioku and Kaiden together, hanging out. So
Why is Fioku so fat?
Let me get a zoom.
he ate dessert.
This is a crocodile-themed party. I'm not sure what caused this party to happen, but it's a party celebrating all Crocs. Not Crocs the shoes, those aren't allowed.
It is Join the Wall with all the other amazing art.
I genuinely came back to this every day at Worlds because I just love seeing what creative people do. And drawing was just another fun activity to do while not competing. I think the trial captain Mina would be proud. Two of the ones that really stood out to me were this ominous Lechonk and this Vulpix. I love this Vulpix so much. Then we checked out another area for Genki mud ball making. This helps purify the water of sludge, like Suicune does. We learned all about the process that goes into creating these. It's not just mud that goes into these, there are also microorganisms that will digest the sludge. Everyone was encouraged to create their own Genki ball, to be thrown into the canal later.
This is just like the Great Marsh.
It is just like the Great Marsh. Oh, come on, let's do it.
It's a Dudunspors.
Oh,
That's it. That's it.
That's it. Ba-ba-da-da-da. I choose you.
This one's for Suicune.
Meanwhile, in Ultra Moon, I needed to travel by bus to reach my next trial location at Hokulani Observatory.
Hokulani Observatory.
And in real life, at Worlds, there was a really cool trolley system we could take for free. So we decided to play some Pokemon Go. They did not skimp on having event Pokestops. There was a Go scavenger hunt going on all weekend, and we were also hoping to catch some of the rare regional exclusives, like Comfey, which is exclusive to Hawaii.
Whoa, you caught a Comfey too.
I did. There it is.
And the world's snorkeling Pikachu.
I'm just sharing this delicious hot soup with my friends.
Gloop, gloop, soup, soup.
Gloop, gloop, soup, soup.
The whole weekend, I never ended up finding the Scuba Pikachu. But Go was actually pretty fun with this whole event going on.
Alright, we're in this room now, which is the autograph lottery room. And we're signing up to try and get autographs from some of the TCG artists and some really famous Pokemon people.
This autograph lottery line was really long, but there were a lot of Pokemon along the way, and decorations to entertain us. I actually got to see Phalanx, the boys, my second favorite Pokemon here.
Who wants to go first?
Who wants to go first?
I have to go first? Fine.
The Terrapagos dice here decided our fate, and we all failed. But they let you go back in line again as long as it was still the period to enter this lottery. So of course we did.
Wait, these are the Legends ZA starters.
Slitherwing, Piplup, and Mew.
You?
Yes.
Those are crazy starters.
And eventually we looped back around. You needed to roll a 1 or a 6 to win. And it all came down to me after Quick and Kotatsu lost.
Alright.
And I did. I won an autograph from Akira Igawa, a TCG artist who's been doing some really cool dynamic poses since the Sun and Moon era. I had that signing to look forward to in a couple days as we wandered into one more exhibit for the day. The Pokemon World's History Museum. It was cool to see the history of these events that I've missed in the past or just read about online, to see the art that I had a Seagear skin of in black and white, and to see exclusive merch from each of these World Championships as well. Plus they had a bunch of other Pokemon memorabilia here. After looking at some World's history, we decided to make some World's history by trying out TCG Pocket for the first time and pulling the sickest cards ever. And then finding out you're guaranteed a sick pull in this demo. We played it a lot.
What? That's crazy!
After checking out everything at the venue, I needed to head back and unwind a bit. So I sent in a substitute to do stuff for me.
Yo, what's up? It's me, Arvin. I'm in the ALOLA region right now. Went on vacation to try and, get over all the Area Zero stuff. Still depressed, but ALOLA's cool. Gonna make lots of sandwiches. Gonna hang out with my friends. Make some cool sandwiches for my boss, Stiff.
This is just like in Paldea when we...
Yeah, exactly. ALOLA vacation. Paldean style. Oh no, Mabostiff on the ground.
This is just like when Rhino almost killed
He's
him.
not doing well. He needs a sandwich. Get this boy a sandwich stat.
We went to go and try and find the Herba Mystica for Mabostiff, but we kind of lost our way.
I don't know directions. I just know how to make a good sandwich.
Yeah, it's because your parents dropped you when you were a baby.
I've been through a lot.
We somehow wound up on the Great Lawn again, where there was some podcast going on, and a cosplay contest and meetup.
We're just kind of chilling right now.
I have no idea what they're talking about.
Mabostiff, do you know?
Wait, let's ask Fioku.
I don't think he
He
does.
has no
There's no
idea.
thoughts going on in his head. Oh, is that Red, the famous trainer behind us? No way. That's crazy.
It is, that's crazy.
That's the Kitakami Ogre Pawn.
That's scary.
That's kind of crazy.
That Kieran guy, I swear, I'm better friends with Juliana than Kieran ever will dream of being. All right, we're taking the bus up to Hopalani Observatory right now.
You can kind of see it.
Pretty
Wait,
cool.
we're not in Paldea?
Wait, you didn't know this is ALOLA?
No.
We took like a flight here. Do you remember that? Or,
No.
like-
I was
okay.
asleep. It must have been like the sleepy Herba Mystica.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And the memory loss Herba Mystica.
Yeah, that one's my favorite.
That one did not go well with Mabostiff.
Yeah, he was not the same for like a week after.
It kind of helped him forget about some of the trauma though. So like.
That's good. You know what? Net positive.
Yeah,
Net positive.
exactly.
Bus.
Where am I now? Oh, I didn't even catch the bus yet.
Oh, that's so embarrassing for you.
Now I'm on the bus. Do I need to press a button?
Yes.
Bus? I don't know
happening.
where we are.
You just got off the bus.
I got off the bus? Oh, let's go.
Kui is waving.
Kukui shows us Mount Lanakila and claims that it's the closest you can ever get to the legendary Pokemon of Alola. And I find it interesting that other than the eventual Necrozma, this isn't true for any legendary in Alola.
Sophocles' trial.
It was here that I met Professor Tops, the first person to ever keep the shiny Groudon costume in Battle Revolution. And I also ran into those Team Star hooligans.
I feel threatened. I feel threatened.
Scary. Everyone's cosplays were so cool, and I'm glad that we had a dedicated time to show them off in the Hawaii heat.
Mega Charizard, what's your name? Chris. Chris?
And for participating in this, we were given prize packs, which I still haven't opened yet.
We are going to see these starters on stage right now as Arvin and Juliana.
The Paldea. It's just like Paldea.
It is like the Paldea.
The Paldea.
In real life.
Oh my gosh, should I say the potato? Oh my
The potato.
I
you
just
guys
don't
are
like
Paldean trainers. Yeah. And Alola. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. They have weird sandwiches here, but they're really good.
Yeah, it's like they put the sandwich on top. It's like they have the bread on the bottom and the top. Like I don't have any bread on the top of my sandwiches. So what the heck?
Years from now, it's going to be so special to me to think that I got to do this during the era of Scarlet and Violet.
How did it feel?
It feels great. It felt amazing. I got to meet Boy Coco.
Fioku in real life.
What? This is crazy.
Oh my gosh. This is the best day ever.
This is insane.
I'm gonna pass out.
She's dead. She's dead. She needs like a sandwich with like some Herba Mystica on it
I
or
need
something.
Herba Mystica.
Mabostiff and I are in paradise right now.
It felt like I was roaming the streets of Malie City at night. And we had some nice Japanese food to make it feel even more like that. It was here that I took on the Totem Togedemaru, which replaces the Totem Vikavolt from the original Sun and Moon. You might think that me playing the game is taking me out of the moment, but it makes me feel more in the moment, turning it into something I'll never forget.
I'm in Hawaii and I have found Baja Blast.
That's a shiny.
And there's Mewtwo and Mew.
They're here for the blast.
They're here for the Baja Blast.
Then we wound down for the night watching some of the VGC matches that we missed while we were out exploring. Then we had a whole nother day of this tomorrow. Why is life so hard?
I just noticed that the world's backpack has Floette on it in multiple places. And there's Flabebe everywhere in Go. Is this a hint at Legends ZA? Mega Absol? At Worlds, I've discovered a new Absol variant. Ice-type Absol, Abso-Cold.
Confirmed for ZA.
And there's a Baja Blast in Abso-Cold. Oh my gosh, this was like made for me.
Actually, Matt, you put it in there. You put the Baja Blast in there. It wasn't just in there.
Shut up.
Are we fighting? I'm gonna shove this banana in your camera lens.
I'm gonna knock that banana out of your hand.
You wouldn't.
That morning, we woke up obscenely early to go to the venue for something very, very special that we could not have missed for the world. Or for the worlds. That's right. I got the opportunity to meet the leader of Team Skull, Guzma, and battle him. And also go on stage and get a look behind the scenes as a special creator opportunity.
So sick. Oh, they're the competitor switches. Oh, these are unique screens. Those are interesting. The Meowth on the scene is a controller. Ogre Pawn.
There's so much craftsmanship that goes into every single stage prop, and it was awesome to get to see it up close. This is probably the closest I'll ever be to a World Champion trophy or the #1 card. My team even got to see it.
Mega Meganium confirmed for Legend ZA.
Pokemon move.
After the stage visit, I walked like how you walk in the tall grass in ALOLA to meet a Pikachu.
Horses are back for a limited time. I'm about to enjoy #horses.
And then take on Acerola's trial for the Totem Mimikyu. I thought that the 3DS's 3D function was completely unused in these games, but I actually found out that the Pokefinder in this trial is. The real scary thing about this trial in the abandoned grocery store after Tapu Bulu destroyed it was that I forgot to save after beating the Totem Mimikyu, so I'd have to do it again later. But we had more pressing concerns, like watching the Entei movie and doing the Retro Shiny Challenge. Nora in the future started this awesome challenge as something that's become a tradition at every Pokemon event now. We get as many people as possible together hunting in the 2D games for shiny Pokemon, trying to see how many encounters we can get done in just an hour. But first I met some really cool fans and friends who gave me some cool stuff. I got a Team Aqua themed birthday card from Shelly, because my name's Matt. And Professor Tops bestowed to me Wii Remotes with shiny costumes on them from him and from Noah Kyogre, the Japanese hunter who's found all the shiny costumes in Battle Revolution. And of course I gave him a Wii Remote with my own team in exchange.
Okay. So you got like some auto hunt setups going?
I do, yeah. So I wired up Arduinos to my 2DSs and 3DS, and I've got a light sensor, and it's just continuously running horde encounters until it finds a shiny.
That's so sick. The anime ankle brace is about to come off.
Purest power, most powerful form. We're about to find some shinies right now. This is gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
Shiny Pokemon.
And 2 were found.
A shiny's been found. What? Is this in the Safari Zone?
Yeah.
Safari Zone. Safari Zone? Oh my gosh. 20 encounters. 20 encounters? That's crazy.
Alright. First ball. Ready?
Let's see.
1 shake. 2 shake. 3 shake.
Let's go! Yeah! That was so quick.
4 minutes in?
That was 4 minutes in.
Quick Panic, the host of the event, also found a Rufflet and made a video about it. We did over 10,000 encounters in the hour. But then we had another meetup, one that I was organizing, for the Medal Rally in Black 2 and White 2, trying to get the 30 people Fun Fest and scored 1,000 medals. We got the 30-person Fun Fest easy. And somehow, only one game managed to get the scored 1,000 medal.
Oh, wait, this one got 1,000.
Wait, you got 1,000 on that one? What?
Yes.
No way! Why did that?
And it was my Italian White 2.
It's the H&B difference. Yeah.
I still don't know why only this game managed to pass the 1,000 threshold, but I finally achieved this medal for the first time. I want to get it on all my games though, including my original Black 2 file, so we will be doing this again. Plus it's just fun to host these every time. After some good hunting, I went back to the hotel and redeemed the event Steenie in Scarlet and Violet that has a special move.
That is so cool. Oh, it's holding safety goggles. That is funny. It does have the goggles.
It has the event ribbon, Steenie the Festive.
Sunny, it has the move Celebrate. A big present comes down and it pops up out of it.
Earlier in the day, we had also met Alpharad, and I started talking One Piece, and then all of a sudden we were hanging out with this whole group of people that night, just kind of going around town. And I finally beat the Totem Mimikyu again, and oh my gosh, I just realized how hard this Bronzong carried me through the entire game. I owe you my life, Absol Poops. This would set the stage for one of the biggest core memories of this whole trip for me that would happen the next night. The whole situation felt as surreal and unlikely as meeting Grimsley in ALOLA, but hey, that happens too. But for now, we retreated to bed, because finals were tomorrow. I then fought the third kahuna, Nanu, and I didn't get a lot of footage of what happens next, but it's really important story stuff, so here's a reenactment. At this point, Plumeria shows up and kidnaps Lily and takes her to the Ether Foundation, who we learn has actually been working with the criminal organization Team Skull this entire time to meet Lusamine's crazy, super selfish goal of trying to save the world. Faba is also really stinky, and all the Ether Foundation employees turn on us whenever Gladion takes Hao and us over there to try and fight them. Also, Wick is still cool. She's chill like that. She's awesome. Don't group her in with these people. Lusamine is so upset that her children rebelled against her when she was coddling them and dressing them and having them do everything to her bidding. The second they didn't listen, she was like, children should listen to adults, even though she's never listened to a word from anyone in her entire life after the whole traumatizing situation that happened to her. And it's scary how quickly she disowns her children the second they do something of their own will. And it's even scarier to think that she's tasked herself with saving the world with these Ultra Recon Squad people, and that the second that they say something that she doesn't agree with, she's gonna turn on them too. And wait, that's exactly what happens with the story, and she goes out and opens a wormhole and tries to save the world on her own, even though they said that that's not how you save the world from Necrozma. This is bad. Lusamine ruins everything. And I think the opening of this wormhole takes place in this trophy room of hers, so we can really see how her personality works. With all these Pokemon that she's cryo-frozen, no consideration for their feelings or anything, but she finds them to be absolutely safe. And that's all she cares about. She wants to protect and preserve, but with absolute control. These are the events that cause Necrozma to invade ALOLA in the main conflict of the game. Lusamine is still the villain here. If she didn't do this, then maybe it would have still invaded through the Ultra Wormhole, but we could have gotten it before it ever became a problem. That's literally the plot of the original Sun and Moon. It's an unremarkable encounter that shows up after the main events of the story. This game is an alternate universe where she was made aware of it first. And while it's sad that we don't get the emotional climax that happens during the Nihiligo scene between mother and daughter in this game, it makes sense why it doesn't happen. And again, it's not because they wrote Lusamine differently. It's that they wrote the story differently. She's still bad for the same reasons, and she also is still kind of bad though. Okay, I'll shut up. After the champions were crowned, they played some crazy trailers. Most notably, this TCG trailer that made me lose my mind. Is that Lily? Yeah, it's Lily! Let's go! Oh, yes! Yes! That's gonna be so good! Who owns Champ now? Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, wait, no, it's restaurant.
Is it N?
It's N in restaurant.
There's no freaking way.
It's N in restaurant.
There's no way. It is! That's so sick! Yo! And he gets a rest ram too. Oh, let's go! Armin! Gold! Oh my gosh! I've heard in the ALOLA region, if you're a talented enough trainer, you might just be visited by one of the island spirits and given a Z-ring. And there's one right now! And just like that, Worlds was over. We left the venue and had to say bye to Giant Pikachu. My whole flight wasn't till the next evening though, so I had a little bit more time to enjoy Hawaii before leaving, seeing an ALOLA in Marowak. And I got to spend it meeting some new friends. And also the Ultra Recon Squad was there. I like how this game feels like it's a fanfic where they're just inserted into every cutscene in any way possible. Like they're the omnipresent blue people who change everything. My favorite moment was sitting out on the beach, laying in the sand, looking out at the waves and looking up at the ultra moon, just talking about all sorts of random things. Like Smash 4 power rankings. I never thought I would discuss that again.
Got a Hatsune Milku.
What?
That's my milk tank.
No, that's disrespectful. No, but it's a milk tank.
I was like, did I hear the words? I think I did. I was Wonder Traded this. This is not my own doing.
Out here I fought the Totem Kameo. And it wasn't won by Bronzong, it was by Meowth on the scene. But yeah, that night felt like quintessential Alola to me, and I don't think any of us wanted to leave. But we'd all eventually have to, and go back to our normal lives. So I might as well get some more malasadas in the morning to enjoy myself while I'm still here. We went to the famous Leonard's Malasadas this time, and saw the rare Alolan Slurpuff mascot.
All of my status conditions, gone.
They didn't have any beef-filled ones, but we got some really good ones still.
Malasada on the curb with the homies. Yeah.
Malasada gang.
There's no seating. Woo!
I love standing.
This one's guava.
Mine's peach.
Mine is custard.
Oh my gosh, this is so good. The guava is so good.
Oh my gosh.
Even Pokemon love malasadas.
Bro's having some guava. He's getting his status conditions healed.
It was bittersweet having to say Alola to everyone, and having it mean goodbye instead of hello. But it was just nice to see everyone one more time, like Glitch and V, and hanging out in the back rooms with Captain Kidd. When you're in Hawaii, when there's rain, there's also rainbows. Like, even though the airport doesn't really have great air conditioning, they have a Burger King you can walk to, and then walk back home from.
The ultra sun is setting, and I'm at the altar of the moon.
At this point, I reached a very important part in the story. The part where everything goes wrong. We reach the altar of the moon to try and go and visit and stop Necrozma the way that the Ultra Recon Squad wanted Lusamine to, and Nebby evolves into Lunala. But in that exact moment, Lusamine and Guzma come back from their mission, failing to defeat Necrozma, and it enters this world, fusing with Nebby to become Dawnwing's Necrozma. I always thought that this naming convention was backwards, since that's the rising of the sun and the setting of the moon, and then I realized it's supposed to be backwards for that reason. We have one of the most jarring Pokemon battle themes in the entire game as we fight this creature, and it opens up a slew of Ultra wormholes that draw in these dangerous Ultra beasts for everyone to fight off in Alola. In this moment, we see the Kahuna on a stroll to a Laguna, the famous scene, but this time Hau is here. This is the moment where he steps up. This is what sets him apart from his Sun and Moon counterpart. My team fought hard to take this thing down, but it wasn't enough to stop it from stealing some of the light from Alola. All of Pony Island is plunged into darkness. And it's actually kind of cool. I want to shiny hunt here someday in a future playthrough while it's all dark like this.
Well, if you look outside now, it looks like Necrozma has stolen the light from Alola. And it has also stolen my flight from Aloha, Hawaii. There has been a delay.
I had a pretty brutal trip home with lots of waiting and a huge layover, but eventually I made it back, just in time to take on the craziest fight in the entire game, Ultra Necrozma, on stream. This takes place in the Ultra Megalopolis, the homeworld of the Ultra Recon Squad. A world without light because of Necrozma and the actions of the ancient people there, who tried to harness its light and broke it in the process, causing Necrozma to go into a fit of rage, stealing all the light from that world, trying to regain its true form. But it couldn't, becoming the black prism that we see it as, in constant pain, just trying to regain pieces of itself. These pieces and its powerful light scattered through the Ultra wormholes into Alola, becoming the Z crystals and the very Z power rings that we use. The Z is short for Zenith, the highest point in the sky. This isn't the story of a truly evil creature just randomly trying to steal light from places. It's trying to reclaim pieces of itself. It's a tortured soul trying to get back what it once lost. And if you visit the Malier Library after beating the game, you learn that this isn't the first time that Necrozma's tried to reclaim its light from Alola. The original Island Challenge happened with this, where a youth with the Guardians of Alola and a bunch of sparkling stones took it out. The Island Challenge exists as a rite of passage in case it ever happens again, so people will be prepared to take it on with Z-Power. And the king burned all the records of Necrozma from the books. That's the world of Sun and Moon, but we know about it because of the Ultra Recon Squad. It's a crazy butterfly effect, and I love that they actually tried to explain it in a narrative way. Anyway, let's actually fight Ultra Necrozma now. This is one of the hardest fights in the game, and my team is not ready for this.
Lie. Lie. Lie.
I came so close to winning on my first attempt, but it wasn't enough. And then suddenly 9 more attempts had gone by.
Okay, here's what I think is gonna happen. The attempt that we win, Slurb Numb is going to solo it.
I needed a lot of luck to win this fight, because I had the power of beans and anime on my side, hoping that my Pokemon would tough out moves.
Alright, we're going to approach it from the left side.
And this is the golden run right here. First we send out our reporter Meowth on the scene to fake it out. Sadly, it never survived a single move once.
Alright, on the scene, you gonna survive this, or what? Okay.
That's 11 Geneva Convention violations so far. There goes another little reporter right there. So sad.
Let's keep going. Milku, it's your time to shine. Let's get a body slam in.
Milku could make all the difference if the body slam paralyzed. But sadly, she did nothing.
Things are not looking bright. Because this thing stole all the light in the world.
I Love Men the Spinda was next, and we would collectively chant men to give it strength.
Men. 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 Survive. Men. Men. No. I didn't chant early enough. I didn't believe enough. Alright, Slurb Numb.
Just like Meowth, Slurb Numb had been one-shotted every single time.
Slurb Numb! Slurb Numb gets a move! We're gonna win this time! We're gonna win this time! This is where it starts. This is where it starts. And watch it get a second one. This is nothing, and it'll survive. See? It survived. This was nothing. Just a little scratch. It keeps its eyes closed, so the light doesn't bother it anyway. Smart Strike. Oh, but it was dumb. That was a dumb strike right there. Stupid strike. Crunch. Slurb Numb is gonna solo this. I believe. Oh, it's using every move and the kitchen sink. But it's toughing it out every time. This is crazy. Go Slurb Numb. Crit. Alright, we can't get the crit, but this is wild. The little Panpour that could. Dragon Pulse, this is nothing. Nah, I'd win. Aww. That was crazy. Show no cheating device? Look. This is just a 3DS cartridge.
And next up was Absol Poops the Bronzong. I know I keep calling it Absol Poops when that's actually the trainer name. Its nickname is actually a link to an unlisted YouTube video. It can take some shots from Ultra Necrozma, but it can't do too much, so it all comes down to the power of oil.
But, it all comes down to oil now. Oh, we survived the power gem, unless this crits. Oiled up! By the power of oil! You are banished from this world, Ultra Necrozma! We did it. We oiled up Ultra Necrozma on attempt 11. And it was all because of Slurb Numb the Panpour. That made all the difference right there. First try, first try.
Now with Ultra Necrozma defeated, it unfuses from Lunala, who's able to return home alongside all the light from ALOLA. I love the shimmering light used in these cutscenes here. The Ultra Megalopolis is still shrouded in darkness, though.
The Legends ALOLA game would be kinda crazy if it was about returning the light to the Ultra Megalopolis.
Then the Ultra Recon Squad confirms the link between Z-moves and Necrozma and tells us that we might be able to share light with it in a way where we wouldn't harm it, and it would be okay.
Look at this doofus. Just wearing a karate uniform and a bucket hat. This is the guy who saved the world with a complete Pokédex. This guy owns every Pokemon. He already had a Necrozma going into that fight.
Then we have Mina's trial, the last normal trial on our island challenge in the game. And it's really awesome. It's a gauntlet of going through all the different trial captains actually battling them, which is something that I felt like was kind of missing from the original Sun and Moon. You don't get to fight all of them, there are a few who are kind of version exclusive here, but it's a really nice tour of ALOLA again, remembering the place that you just saved. And then in Mina's house, we fight against the totem Rabambi, which feels like a really bad idea, especially with all the art on the walls that we don't want to ruin. It's raining in the house, yeah. All of Mina's paintings are getting ruined right now, all because of this stupid pelican. She must be so upset. That or this is like an artistic technique that she uses to like watercolor those kinds of things. Wait! Oiled Up just crossed the level threshold. We're past level 65, so suddenly Oiled Up is not obeying. But we still emerged victorious. Okay, so that thing that Mina just did, the picturing thing. So, Mei does this a lot in the anime, and I did it once for fun. Someone thought that I was calling them a double loser on the playground by doing this, because like it was 2 L's, and I never did it again. Why are you calling me a double loser? And I'm like, whoa, I'm just seeing the world through a frame. Then we have our 4th and final Grand Trial versus Kahuna Hapu.
For a limited time, the cows and horses are joining together to bring you a fun-filled evening of wholesome and brain-expanding entertainment.
This is the farthest hollow. First 4 letters of that? Fart. There's a completely free Z crystal you can get here without a trial, and the moment that you grab it, Kahili will just show up somehow. Do you think that she just watches this spot for people to take the crystal? Like, how did she get here? Then, after encountering Gladion, who thanks us for saving his family with a battle, we go up Mount Lanakila to reach the top, to reach the end of our island challenge at the Pokemon League, at the zenith of the mountain. This was traditionally the end of the island challenge where you fight against the 4 Kahunas representing the 4 Tapus, but now it's a full-fledged Pokemon League for the first time ever. Especially in the Ultra games though, they're not all Kahunas this time. We do have Kahuna Olivia here, with their rock types, but then we have Molayne, the steel-type specialist who developed the PC system here in Alola. Acerola, the trial captain, ghost-type girl. I don't think there's anyone who vibes more than her during a battle. And Kahili, the mysterious golf lady. She uses flying types and has very little story relevance. And then, up at the top, we get ready for our first ever champion battle. Versus Professor Kukui. Just kidding, actually this time it's Hao. One of our first friends in Alola and our rival throughout this entire game. And a game with some pretty in-depth characters with some crazy stories. Hao is very simple in comparison. He's an optimist. And everything he does for fun. He simply believes in the power of friendship and having a good time. And I can't fault him for that. I don't necessarily want every character to have depth or a tragic backstory. Sometimes we just need our Haos to show that you can still become strong just by having fun and going with the flow. It's nice to have someone that we can battle at the champion level who we can just enjoy some malasadas with no beef. I kinda like the Kukui battle a little bit more in the original Sun and Moon, because it felt so special to battle against the professor and have my own battle theme. But this is fun too, and I'm glad they went with something a little bit different in this game, just to give us another alternate universe experience. And that's what the Ultra games are all about. The alternate universe. These are probably the last ever Pokemon games to be the 3rd version of a region. An alternate retelling, since the series ever since has moved on to doing stuff like the Legends series, or DLC. So they went out of their way to make a bunch of wacky random changes seemingly for no reason in this game. Like, why is Moan green? Why does he wear a green shirt instead of an orange shirt? Someone please explain to me in the comments. I'm actually genuinely curious about this. A lot of this game's harshest criticisms come from it either being too similar to the original Sun and Moon in certain aspects, or being too different, not including certain important parts of the story from Sun and Moon. I don't think these games are meant to eclipse Sun and Moon as much as they are to be a tribute to that entire experience of replaying a Pokemon game through a different version, giving the players as many little interesting spot the difference things as possible. I don't think you can enjoy this game to its fullest without first playing Sun and Moon, and actually vice versa. I want to revisit Sun and Moon now and replay that story and go through the emotional highs and lows of that now too. It's kind of cool how they go in tandem. When previously, a lot of people after playing a game like Platinum never want to go back to Diamond and Pearl ever again. I'm hoping as time passes on, people will start to realize this a little bit more and appreciate Ultra Sun and Moon for being Ultra Sun and Moon. Not for not being Black 2 and White 2, or not being Emerald. They're kind of in their own category. They really weren't afraid of embracing that the world of Pokemon is a multiverse with this game, and gave us a little peer behind the curtain as to how that even works. Even giving us characters like the Ultra Recon Squad who we can actively see changing the story from what would have happened in the original Sun and Moon. Anyway, enough blabbing, and let's watch the finish of the first rival champion battle since Gen 1, unless you count N. He's not really the champion in Gen 5 though. Y'all gave me these Pokemon. I would not have won this battle if it weren't for the Wonder Trades that we did along the way. Then we had this really awesome party. Everyone was there. There was even a horse. Team Skull disbanded to become Team X to try and point out that every Pokemon is either X or Y shaped. Zygarde is here, and even with the context of the story, I'm genuinely not sure why. It feels like this was just left over from a Pokemon Z that might have been in development. I'm hoping we learn more about the Zygarde and Alola in ZA, and maybe we'll see the Tapus in that game since they weren't in Scarlet and Violet for some reason. That'd be cool too. We did a bunch of Z-move poses, and it made me realize that I didn't do any of those when I was actually in Hawaii, and it would have been an awesome photo op. Colress got to work on the fusion things. He's still wanted for his crimes, but it's chill. And unlike Sun and Moon, where Lily goes on a journey, it's Gladion who leaves this time. Which is actually okay, because it means we get to have Lily in the postgame. Also, Lusamine actually shows up to say goodbye, which is actually kind of huge for her, considering this is not a way that Gladion would be quote-unquote safe. And then we see Faba plotting something mysterious. Then after all that storytelling, we're greeted with the real credits with crazy sprite work, reminding me that if I miss anything most about Pokemon from the olden days, it's just the sprite work. Now we begin the post-game with Team Rainbow Rocket. The most implausible evil team ever, composed of like some of the best, most successful versions of every team leader, mixed in with a bunch of regular Team Rocket grunts. And Faba, bro thinks he's on the team, and first they take over the battle agency in Festival Plaza, which is something that I bet a lot of people don't even remember, but it's kind of cool actually. It's like the Battle Factory where you use rental Pokemon, but the caveat to it is that you only have one rental Pokemon of your own, and the other two that you use are from other trainers in your Festival Plaza. And because no one ever really used this mode much, it was really difficult to progress in it, unless you knew other people who were actively taking it on. Because you could be battling up against level 80 Pokemon, while the people that you ran into in the plaza would have level 50 Pokemon for their rentals. I want to take this on and fully rank up with a group of people someday, because the final battles are actually really cool. Plus there's level 100 Gauntlet potential. The hacking of Festival Plaza was just a test though. Then we cut to a press conference at the Ether Foundation where Faba mysteriously slinks away as an Ultra Wormhole opens up and Team Rainbow Rocket takes over the entire place, meaning we gotta go in and stop them. This is episode RR. There's a turncoat in the Foundation. The meaning of turncoat? Look it up yourself! Yeah, this was all Faba's fault, and he thinks it's gonna advance his career somehow, which is really stupid. But we get to try and knock some sense into him with a tag battle with Lily, which is so cool right off the bat. Guzma from Team X also shows up and helps us out. It's cool to actually fight alongside him for once. Despite the leaders being so accomplished, the grunts are at their most incompetent, and it's hilarious. In modern Pokemon, where evil teams really aren't all that evil anymore, this feels like a nice tribute to that old era of hideouts and warp panel puzzles. Easily the most fanservice-y part of this is getting to fight against all these evil team leaders. Interestingly, Archie and Maxie are their original Ruby Sapphire and Emerald counterparts rather than the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire redesigns. They also have their legendaries, so it's like they came from a timeline where they were successful in their missions. And then, after taking down the legendary Kyogre and pressing the switch behind the painting, who wouldn't? I actually had to stop streaming for the night for something for work. And then I sort of didn't pick this up again until 2025. When I was eating some really good Spam musubi that reminded me of the musubi that Scott gave me. And then I was like, you know what? It's finally time for me to finish this. There are like tens of thousands of this Panpour that were distributed over the 3DS Wonder Trade services by Avery Block 5. And this is merely but one of those clones of the exact same Panpour, all named Slurp Num. It hurt itself in its confusion but didn't faint so I wouldn't feel sad. Dude, Slurp Num! That's 3 times taking it in a row! Then I fought Maxie, who was simply no match for Slurp Num the Panpour. This is actual physical violence. That or he's tricked them into thinking that they're swimming right now. Then we fight Cyrus, who's having a bit of an existential crisis because he's not sure if he's in the new world that he tried to create or not with Palkia, or Dialga if you're playing Ultra Sun. Then there's Lysander, who, because he's from a 3DS game, gets to Mega Evolve his Gyarados. Then we have who I think might be one of the most twisted and evil people in all of Pokemon history, Getsis, who especially feels this way with the way they treated him in this. I bet this guy's uniform stinks. Like, this guy wears, like, so many layers of clothes. Dude's in, like, ALOLA right now. I bet he smells so bad. Wait, what ball was that in? Was that in a Master Ball, or am I tripping? All Master Balls? Just like Sada and Turo. That's how you know he's pure evil. Alright, Sucker Punch time. Bam! Alright, hit itself in the confusion. Oh, avoid the blue flare, just like that. The power of the Spinda-loving men is beyond Reshiram's comprehension. This guy feels eviler than the rest because he, like, literally tackles Lily, a little girl, to the ground. Who does that? And he actually threatens to kill her if we don't give up our Pokemon. Thankfully, our favorite criminal inventor, Colress, steps in. Such an interesting character. Like, I'm fully on board the theory that the lady from Quasartico is related to Colress. I would love Faller Colress, too. You nothing personnel, kid. Teleports behind you. Then, just because he really doesn't like the guy, he banishes Getsis back to his own world. Thank you so much, Colress. Now it's time to go fight Giovanni and save Lusamine. Mother! That's Giovanni, that's not your mom. Team Rainbow Rocket doesn't want to just take over the world, they want to take over every world. And they're stealing the Aether Foundation's research to try and do that. It's pretty interesting thinking about that, because the only other time that the Aether Foundation's stolen research gets brought up is in Sword and Shield, when Macrocosmos gives you one of the type Knolls that's in the Galar region. I can't help but wonder if they've had influence there, too. Especially with the wormholes appearing in the Max Lair. Wait, I already made a video about this. Yeah, sure, I'll join Team Rainbow Rocket. You're calm enough to joke, I see. It wasn't a joke, I just wanted to join. It's crazy that this final fight with Giovanni takes place in the trophy room where we first saw Lusamine. I wonder what happened to the cryo-frozen Pokemon in the cases behind us that seem to be bubbling now. This whole Rainbow Rocket side quest really just feels like an awesome tribute to Pokemon as a whole. And to me it serves as a good reminder that even if there's not really a crazy Pokemon to catch at the end of it, or if it doesn't really unlock much, it doesn't mean that it's not worth playing. And not playing these things feels like a mindset that's too easy to fall into when I get too focused on trying to shiny hunt new targets. You gotta remember to take the detours sometimes just for the sake of playing the game. Also, one more ZA theory for the road here. How is Mewtwo gonna fit into the story there? It's gotta appear in the story since it's one of the Mega Evolutions. Maybe we'll see Team Rainbow Rocket again. I don't know. Colress manages to revert the entire place back to normal, including the cryo-frozen Pokemon somehow. Also, it blows my mind that the only punishment that Faba gets for this is being demoted to intern, instead of being, like, fired and arrested. And our huge reward for defeating the greatest evils? 55 big nuggets. Then Giovanni disappears to go into the world of Pokemon Go, and I swear this is not the only thing that this whole side quest was teasing. I hope it's not. And now I guess I'll end this for now by saving this poor tortured soul Necrozma, who's fallen completely powerless on top of Mount Lanakila. We can share light from our Z-Power ring with it to wake it up and then capture it. Then Colress gives us machines he invented to fuse it with Solgaleo or Lunala. But where do we capture them? Mahalo Trail, the place where we first encountered it as a Cosmog. Lily wants us to take Nebby, to make Necrozma happy, so it can find that source of light to not be in constant pain. I think this is an awesome full circle moment, and it truly brings peace and resolution to the whole crazy Necrozma story that this whole game started in the first place. And yet, there's so much that I still haven't touched on yet. All sorts of side quests that either lead to crazy new Pokemon, or just to having a fun adventure on your island vacation. These games really do mean so much to me. And I don't think I even realized how much they did until this past year, when I got this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I love the ALOLA region with all my heart, and I hope that you were able to see that. Thank you so much again to Pokemon for the opportunity to attend Worlds. Thanks so much for watching, and ALOLA.